This time we got a 5, sorry, 3 5s, a 1, and a 3. All right. But we do need some energy. Yadigan Run Tea House. Did I look at this? Tavla room. I don't even remember looking at this before. The Tavla room in the Tambour. Oh! Oh, the Tambour Tea House. Grinning Penguin says, take me to the Tambour. So I guess this has just been here the whole time and I missed it. Oh, I feel like an idiot. Hand in gum box? You feel stupid doing this? I do feel stupid doing this. But the penguin says, take me to the Tambour. And this is the only Tambour you can find. Tracking Havenage. You've heard that the Yadigan Enforcer based here has been paying low-end residents for information on Havenage movements. So that would be, what's her name? Rabaya. So bad at remembering names. Okay, and Tavla room. The Tavla room in the Tambour house houses some of the best players in the low end. This is serious, high stakes only play. I probably went here like earlier and just never... Maybe I didn't see this because I hadn't got the gum box yet and I just never considered this place again and never went back to it. Okay, well, maybe we have, now that we found this, maybe we have another way of avoiding the mess that's headed our way. The waitress looks at you with suspicion as you hand over the box. Is this the right place? Oh, we're gonna find out. Yadigan Run Tea House. As you go to leave the Tambour Tea House, a hand falls on your shoulder. Sleeper! Fang hisses from behind you. How did you find me? The penguin? Penguin? What are you? He thinks for a second. Oh, do you mean? He mimes throwing gum in his mouth. That wasn't meant for you specifically, but... He cringes. Look, it doesn't matter. Come, let's sit. Fang guides you down a set of stairs to one of the Tambour's lower levels. The tea house is stacked with curved mezzanines, all connected by a central atrium. The levels are filled with makeshift booths and bars, and conversation bounces busily off the metal walls. Fang sees you look around. This place used to be a fuel tanker's main drum. It's the name. The tea house part is a bit of a misnomer, though. You can get anything the eye offers from this place, but real tea isn't exactly readily available. He picks a booth. It's self-fashioned from some old salvage tank or container, then lined with spongy insulation foam, and collapses into it. He looks around furtively. Don't suppose you've seen any, Havenage types? They don't usually come out this far. Probably because Yadigan is here. Fang, what's going on? Well, I'm suspended. That's the first thing. And the second thing is I'm pretty sure Hardin wants to drop me off the rim of the eye. He grins. Doesn't bother me, though. It shows we hit a nerve back there. Picks a scrappy hand-scrawled menu from the table and tosses it over. What are you drinking? Look at the menu. Fang is right. The menu is ridiculous. There's at least 10 different infusions, most of which you can't make out. But the paper is dominated by an extensive complement of esoteric alcohols and cocktails. Black tea is listed without a price as a seasonal specialty. So you ran into Hardin. Was he pissed? Fang doesn't wait for an answer. That snake is so self-righteous. He might actually believe that Erlin would approve of his meritocratic bullshit. Taps on the table. If Havenage was like it should be, like it was founded to be, they would have shouted him down at any council meeting he dared to mention true citizens. But I guess this his kind run the place now. A young woman with a vine tattoo snaking up her arm turns up at the booth, a slate in hand. Your order? You skim the menu, your eyes glazing over. Time to pick something. A sandbar, a rack? Fang raises an eyebrow as she notes it. And you? She begins, looking to Fang. But when she sees him, she suddenly stops. What the? Fang shrinks a little. You're supposed to be working. This is your shift. He grins sheepishly. Let's just stay out of this. Look, Jenna. Let's just say this is my my break. My friend here has been through a lot. Jenna looks between the two of you. Hold on. Fang also starts nodding. 2 minutes, says Jenna, pointing at Fang. And only because I don't want to get dragged into whatever this is. She gestures at the table and walks off. What? Fang stretches in the booth. You know how it is. We all have to eat. Plus, he leans in. This is the best place around here to find a person you might be looking for. Who? Remember that web of connections that Hardin pinged the moment we confronted him? Those are his collaborators. And if we want to understand what a Solheim executive might be getting up to on the Eye, those are the people we have to find. Fang is almost whispering now. There's a couple of them I suspect are in the low end. And well, almost everyone in the low end comes through this place at one time or another. He brings a modified slate out onto the table. I've set this up so that anyone with the network signature I'm looking for comes into close proximity. I'll mark them. Once they're marked, we can break through their access protocols and get at the good stuff inside. We just have to find them first. Hence me moonlighting as a waiter. Suddenly a smile grows across his face. Wait, I have an idea. Oh no. Look, I can't cover enough of the low end on my own. Oh, on my own. And so far, I've had no matches in this place. With two of us, we can cover more ground. What am I getting into? Well, Fang has a hang dog. What's a hang dog look? I don't think I've ever seen I've heard that description before. We need to get you out and about in the low end, in close proximity to as many people and residences as possible. And it turns out my friend Minji needs some help with deliveries. Ah, is it Minji Express? We've been doing deliveries. So you already know him. Perfect. Fang places a tiny receiver on the table. This connects to my slate and runs the same marking protocol if you get near any of our targets. So all you have to do is take some delivery shifts for old Minji, and soon enough, we'll have the place covered. Fang, don't give me that. You think I like working here? And I thought you could use the tips. He grins. We're in this together, right? Right. Okay then. Fang slips his slate back under his clothes. Just head on up to Minji Express, take a delivery shift, and we'll see what shakes up. You manage to find anyone and extract any data, bring it right down here to me. They have me on double shift, so I shouldn't be hard to find. Jenna walks past carrying a tray of drinks and sharply catches Fang's eye. I don't think she's bringing your drink. He stands. I think it's time we call this meeting to a close. You grab the receiver from the table and slip it into a pocket. See you soon, sleeper, and stay safe, Fang adds, before turning and walking off towards the bar, whistling as he does. I can't believe I missed that all this time. Well, I have a new thing to focus on now because time is running out, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 cycles, and I'm assuming disabling my tracker will be a fine way to avoid Maywick. Yeah, it says you'll need to leave the station, get protection, or disable your tracker before they arrive. I still kind of want to enter the Greenway though. But let's focus on this first. If we could do that, maybe we can continue to do the other things. I don't know. I don't know how the game ends. But delivering, I think it's also because it didn't mark this, but that makes sense because we were supposed to put that together ourselves. That this is a Tambour tea. It's called the Tambour Tea House. Oh, I feel like an idiot. I think what ends up happening is you get so caught up because there's so many different things to do, and there's so many. places. And you kind of get caught up in these threads, you know, just like real life, and you forget about, even though I was aware of it, you get a little bit overwhelmed with all the information. Express delivery. Fang's targets. Okay. You'll have to deliver noodles to half the low end before you can get a proper fix on Hardin's collaborators. And we get, oh, extra cryo. I guess if I fail, you know what? Let's just do one of these. Just to get some energy. And we'll get some money too. Just in case but it's +1, so I couldn't possibly not get a positive outcome. What am I talking about? Oh, and we got 2 Fang's targets. So we should be able to complete this. Oh, and I've got the Thrill Seeker perk. Okay, I kind of wasted an action there. It happens. A shortcut across a bridgeway means 3 happy customers and 3 big tips. You start to understand the makeshift unit markings. Sleeper! You see Fang coming up the corridor. As you step out of Minji's, the kelp noodle smell still clinging to your clothes. He comes up fast and stops close, looking around suspiciously. I don't have long. Take these. Fang palms you a couple of those metal thumbnail-sized drives. Ripper worms. My slate has been buzzing like crazy. It seems your delivery shifts have turned up our 2 targets. He squeezed your shoulder. I knew you could do it. Now we nail those snakes. I'm ready. Good to hear it, he smiles. Hardin's boys are all connected by some kind of closed network. You break the access protocols on both of them, you should be able to gain the location of the nearest network ports. Slot the Ripper worms in those ports, 1 each, and they'll feed me anything and everything stored on Hardin's shadow network. He smiles. Can't wait to see what juicy plans they have in there. You hear the scuff of boots as a group comes up the corridor, likely on their way to place an order with Minji. I don't know if it's Minji or Mingi. I think it's Minji. That's the thing about games that don't have any voiced lines. You're like just guessing how this stuff's pronounced. If you don't know like the original language. You turn for a second, and when you look back, Fang is already halfway down the corridor in the opposite direction. He raises a hand in farewell and is gone. You run your fingers over the tiny ripperworm drives in your pocket and smile to yourself as you wonder how mad Jenna will be at Fang for this little excursion. Time to slot some worms. My favorite thing to do. So I gotta go into cyberspace. Agent. Ooh, I needed a 6, a 4, or a 2. The security protocols on this agent are serious stuff. What are Hardin's collaborators up to? What about this one? A 1, okay. You remember the guy who lived here? He didn't tip. Time for him to see the consequences. Neutral outcome, Hardin agent port unlocked. So it's unlocked. Do I have to leave? Ah, okay. Slot Ripperworm. This will provide Fang with the ability to rip any data he likes from Hardin's network. Self-guided program that scalps data from closed networks. What the Ripperworm does. The worm makes a little nest among the agent's data. Enjoy your stay, little friend. These are the Yadigan agents. Okay. Well, I'd definitely rather pursue this over the Rabaya stuff. Although, I don't think, like, one thing that's kind of interesting about this game is there isn't... The only character I'd really say is, like, purely unlikable is probably Ethan. And of course, like the killer, hunter-killer protocols, but those are programs, right? Okay, let's feed Cosmo. So even though Rabaya seemed like she could be quote unquote evil on the surface, it's more of a gray. She's more of a gray character, and I think most of them are. Although I get Fang seems like a good guy overall, but Hardin also made some points, you know, that were valid. All right, let's go on to the next cycle. Three 6s and a 4. That's crazy. The one thing I wanted to check too was this. We're still waiting 2 cycles on Bliss's Bay. Okay. Because I like Bliss also. And we're also waiting a cycle on the Fungal Grove, which is great because we're working on this other thing. We're really close here. We just need one more sample. And these won't do, huh? No. Okay, let's go back. So we needed a 6 for this, right? What a roll! What crazy rolls, though. I guess I could use the 4. That would have been smarter. Slot in the Ripper Worm. Worm begins tearing through the data cache, spinning out a thread to Fang's terminal. Ah, excellent. As you walk into the Tambour, you quickly spot Fang arguing with Jenna. Maybe we can help Fang out. Let's approach. You come up behind Fang and he turns and notices you. Jenna stops mid-tirade as you arrive. She turns to you. You again? You here to vouch for this layabout? I am. She laughs. Well, what are you two up to? Fang winks at you and interjects. It's like I told you, Jenna, I'm helping them out. Getting them settled, sorting their life out. They're a sleeper. You know what that means. Jenna softens. She looks a little embarrassed. Of course I know. She stops to think. Look, Fang, I get it. You're trying to help, but if you want to keep this job, you're going to need to be a bit more reliable. Fang nods solemnly. Won't happen again, Jenna, I promise. She looks suspiciously between the two of you. Okay, then, she turns to you. And look, I didn't mean to. Just be cool, all right? She turns and walks back to the bar. Well, didn't know you'd stand up for me, sleeper. Fang claps you on the back. I appreciate the solidarity. He takes out his slate, pulsing with a pale light. Now let's take a look at what you're really here for. The slate is a whirring mess of code streams coming direct from the Ripper Worms as they dig through the agent's data and spin into threads the slate to pick up. Anything good? Fang scrolls the display with a finger. A lot of junk. A lot of dull as hell message threads. A lot of tedious data caches, but... Fang's eye slash. Definitely some good stuff. He stops the screen scrolling on an entry and expands it. Check this out. Fang shows you the screen. You see a bold corporate logo, not Solheim's, and a word below. Conway. Fang. He's working with Conway. Conway Extractions, right? Fang nods. He's been speaking with them, personally. Got a whole chain of messages here, but it's mostly encrypted or redacted. Rubs his head. Damn it, this is juicy, but we can't nail him with it. Scroll some more. Wait, what's this? A wasteland reclamation facility. Right here on the eye? He glances at you. What's the bet this place is tucked into the wastes? Conway are set up here? Guessing so. Got themselves set up in the wastes. Back before the collapse, people would have got there by going down the connected spoke from the hub. But that spoke's broken now. So the only way is the long way. Round the rim, past the greenway. Shows you on his slate. Fang looks away, thinking. Conway have been making moves on this system since the collapse. I heard they took over one of Solheim's old belt colonies a while ago. Moved everyone out and reclaimed the whole rock. What's their angle? Hardin has to be offering them something. Fang looks at the screen. Fang looks back at the screen. But if Hardin is involved in it, then we need to check it out. Simple as that. So what's next? Fang stares out into the middle distance. We have to get to the facility. The answer to whatever Hardin has been prepping, been planning, has to be there. And we are gonna catch him in the act. Give me 5, maybe 6 cycles. And then I'll see you on the greenway. I seem to remember there's some old service docks on the outer shell. Up by the Haifa building? Should be a good place to meet. Fang squeezes your shoulder. Thanks again, Sleeper, for sticking with this. I haven't forgotten about that tracker of yours either, but I'm gonna need to be back in my bay to pull a solution together. Turns the slate around to face you, showing a massive scrolling code. I've been working on a fix in my brakes. He winks. Fang grins widely. Now I've gotta go ask for some time off from Jenna. Wish me luck. He waves as he walks back to the bar, where Jenna is standing, a look of deep exhaustion in her eyes. Oh, nice, we got an upgrade point. It looks like we're gonna generally, maybe it's because I've explored a lot of the station. It looks like we're generally gonna unlock just about everything. At this rate, that is, but I guess it depends on how many missions you complete. Okay, what do we want to do? Scrap components at home to repair to conditions. What have we been doing lately? We did the Mini G Express, which is the deliveries. I can't remember what stat it was using though. Was it interfacing? No, wouldn't have been interfacing. Gauge? Might have been a gauge. I think I was getting a +2, right? Because I put the... Or was it the +1? I don't know. I don't remember. We did a bunch of work up here, which is like repairing and stuff. So maybe we go engineering. Sure. As I said, I like to kind of upgrade the stuff we've been using. It's like our character's learning. Okay, so we're waiting on this. We're waiting on Fang, so let's do... I think this is... Oh, right, we need to wait one more on this. The service dock, okay. Why is it that you always have to wait for Fang? When is he going to be the one waiting for you? I wonder if we should... Got a fair amount of cash. I could collect spores, because we need, I believe we need to collect spores to get one more mushroom, right? Okay. Do I need, I can't remember, I think I need 3? I maybe should have done into it because I've been doing. Maybe should upgrade it into it because I've been doing a lot of this. Also, the other option is I can continue with Yadigan. But now that I've found what to do with Fang, maybe I should leave this and see how that turns out. Just get some cash. Oh, wow. 30 cryo. Let's do this. There we go. Lots of food for Cosmo. Chicken boy. Oh, and we got energy out of that because we were down 2, I think, right? There you go, buddy. Two 6s and 2 3s. Pretty good. Oh, it's harvesting that I had to do here, right? We weren't planting. We were waiting for the spores to go through to harvest them. Let's use our 3s on this. We only need 1, right? Oh, and we got a neutral outcome. Okay. Cool. Oh, wasn't, we were also waiting on Emphas, right? Can't remember if I ended up giving them those or not. The 3 G-roll samples. Okay. Rico meets you at the entrance to the lab, leaning on her crutch with a glint in her eye. Walk with me, sleeper. I'd like to tell you a story. She makes her way down the corridor that leads back up towards the main commune building. When people first crossed what we call Founder's Gap into the Greenway, they did so against the wishes of Andre Erlin. At the time, Erlin was trying to stabilize the Union and establish control over the Eye in the wake of Solheim's collapse. It was chaos, competing factions, failing systems, so many dead and injured from the riots. That was his priority. Let's just listen. You both cross through a glass-roof tunnel. The greenway outside crowded with vines and branches, dappling the light. Erlin had written the greenway off, cut off from the rest of the station, and linked to a broken spoke. He claimed it was only a matter of time before everything here would die. He refused to let anyone abandon their duty to the Union and cross. They were traitors to the cause, or as good as. Rico continues, making her slow but steady way into the inner gardens of the commune. There weren't many of us, but we believed that what was here was worth saving. We had to keep our plans secret until we crossed, and some of us left people behind. She pauses to catch her breath, her voice cracking. It's difficult to know if from effort or emotion. What we found was a disaster. Nothing like what you see here. Half of the greenway was leaking oxygen into space. The plants flash frozen. The other half was a swamp of mulch, as decaying matter clogged every system. We worked hard. We lost good people. We cleaned up and closed up, but it was never going to be enough. After many Many cycles. We all knew this place was doomed. We kept on working, talking less and less, because we couldn't face it. We all developed a death wish. If the Greenway was going to die, so would we. What changed? Everything. Rico smiles. We crossed some invisible boundary, tipped some biological scale, and the Greenway started to recover. Plants flowered. Crops sprouted. For the first time, we reaped the fruits of our labor. Rico smiles, looking up at you. We thought it was us, that we managed to do just enough to end the cycle of decay. I thought we had saved the Greenway. Till today. You pass into the grow beds of the commune, rich with the hustle and bustle of Haifa members planting and harvesting. For a while, Rico is quiet, and you both simply observe the hypnotic movements of the work crews, the eager chatter washing over you like a wave. Rico smiles to herself. I should have known, of course, that our arrogance was unfounded. But we needed to believe back then. We needed a myth to bring more people across the gap. You both move into a smaller corridor, Rico following some direction unknown to you. What you have shown me is that, back then, the Greenway saved us, not the other way around. Tell me, have you ever consumed one of the Matsuke or G-roll caps you've been growing? I guess no. No. They can be difficult to prepare without proper equipment, she muses. But you should try them. After all, they were designed for you. Rico has a mischievous look. At first, I thought it was the location they were grown in that made the mushrooms from the aviary, from the labs, or from the grove different to each other. But what I have come to understand is that it is the person growing them. The Matsutake and G-roll caps you brought me are totally unique, containing compounds never usually found in similar specimens in my possession. Many of these compounds aren't even digestible for humans. But for a sleeper like you... Rico smiles as she leads you into the internal garden of the commune, where the Haifa members have planted species from all over the Greenway. Back when the tide turned, when the Greenway started to recover, we all felt something, a response. It was as if this place was not just alive, as a forest is alive, but alive in other ways. Communicative, responsive. We shrugged it off at the time, but now I understand why. Rico stops and turns to you. This place is responding to us, adapting itself to us. It is growing fruiting bodies for you, for me. It is adapting, changing. It is, in short, displaying all the signs of sentience. How? That is what I wish to know too. What being is in control here? Rico sits on a bench within the peaceful gardens and gestures for you to join her. When you have been growing the G-rolls and the Matsutakes in the aviary, those species so familiar to the Greenway, have you discovered any others? Yes. Rico can barely contain her excitement. I should like to see those. Please bring me some next time you are here. You look around the garden, amazed at the sense of peace within it. Rico interrupts the silence. There is a species of mushroom that I haven't seen in years. It was dark, short, shaped like a club. We first found it in those early days when we were working to save this place. It was around the time that we started to lose our first members. The clubhead caps? They were succumbing to some infection. Some mold growing deep in the dark mulch that drowned this place. At that point, we thought we were lost. And then these mushrooms emerged from that same black mold. Tested them and saw that they contained some compounds that counteracted the mold, They contained an antidote. Of course, as a botanist, I saw this as a part of the natural process of this ecosystem, even if the timescale seemed absurdly short. But what I am wondering is if that antidote was a gift. Rico meets your eyes. Perhaps if you are patient, you will receive your gift too, Sleeper. You both sit for a while, Rico seemingly done telling stories for today. You watch the light playing off the leaves and plants around you and wonder what forces could be in play in this place. After a while, you stand and leave with a quiet nod to Rico, leaving her to her memories. That's so beautiful.